Yo, what up, what up? Sorry I'm late. What's good? Welcome to another episode of yours truly, Raiders Unleashed. I am your host, Raiders Rebel. If you like this kind of content, man, hit that like button. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, Pete Carroll, man, Pete Carroll seems to be a little heated with Raider Nation, with their comments about his son, with their comments about JPJ. There's a whole lot going on, and I don't know if anybody's in here. So, again, apologize for being late. I misplaced my glasses and I couldn't find them. So, took me a minute. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Somebody comment. Somebody say something. Somebody do something. Okay, well. All right, man. So, anyways, there seems to be a lot of talk about the battle or lack thereof competition that the Raiders have in their organization on the offensive line. A lot of people believe that JPJ, what it do, should be good, should be at center. Put these glasses on because I don't even know who the hell is about there. What it do? Bree was good. Hey, I was wondering if you still had the key to Candy's lock and if I may borrow it. Um, nah, I don't think you could borrow it, but you can have it if you want. Nah, yeah, I still have the key, man. It's my lock. Why wouldn't I have the key? But what's good? What's good? How are you? How are you doing tonight? Can you hear me? Can you not hear me? Just need to know if somebody can hear me. Why do you want the lock? Why are you not replying? What do you need it for? What are you trying to unlock? I could just tell you. All right, man. So the Las Vegas Raiders. What's good? What's good? Um, yo. What's good? What's good? Can y'all hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Yes. Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Can you hear what I'm saying? Fucking shit. What's good, man? How's everybody doing? Y'all can hear me? Good. Hello. Snoop 19. Hello. Brandon Ramos. What's good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Peyton's channel. What's your channel about? Do you have a YouTube channel? Nice. Guess how old you are? Um, 12. 8? I don't know. I don't know. My night's going pretty good, man. It's not going too bad. Somebody said you're 67 with a Snoopy picture. Christ is King. Yes, Jesus is. Jesus is Lord, man. No, that's too young. You're not 12. 15. Is it way too young still? You have a YouTube channel? Y'all go check out Brandon Ramos' YouTube channel. Give him a like, give him a follow. But it just started. Well, you got to be consistent, man. You got to be consistent. Post a couple times a day, something I failed to do. Set schedules if you're going to go live, something I failed to do. It's why there's nobody in here. But yeah, man, just be consistent. Be consistent. Get your name out there. People will show up. You ask Candy what? Um, what? That 250 too fast? What's good? That 250 too fast? How's your night going? What are y'all doing on here? Are y'all football fans? Y'all just trolling YouTube? Don't give up, never give up. Right? Right? At least that's what John Cena says. Never give up. Do I like the Chiefs? No, I hate the Chiefs. Bike has to get completely rebuilt so you can use your bike. What kind of bike you got? A 250? Is it a dirt bike? Is it a hog? Is it a crotch rocket? What you got? What you got? Everyone says what? That they don't like the Chiefs? Well, do you like the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift, or do you like the Chiefs actually because of football? You love football, Snoop 19. Who's your team? And you never told me how old you are. A YZ 250? Okay, okay. Why you got to get it rebuilt? You blow the engine? You just gotta. God loves me. He loves you too. God loves everybody. Just depending what God you're. We won't get into that. This is a different channel, bro. What kind of dirt bike you got? Young Sweet. What? Young Sweet 1120? 112.0? I don't know. I don't know. You're 17? Okay, well, I was way off. I was way off. Do you have a driver's license? Do you drive a vehicle? Um, no, because you like Mahomes personally. I mean, I guess if you like one player, that's a good reason to follow the team. I guess if you don't have another one, right? CFR 125. Better watch them 125s. They got that power band. They'll kick on you, especially in third gear. You're 11? Oh my God. I'm not a Swifty fan. More five finger death punch. Okay. The Vegas band, huh? I feel you. That's way different than Taylor Swift, yo. Can you get a shout out? Um, Rush Munchie, shout out. What's good? How you doing? Timing chain broke. Everything is broke. Crank. Oh. You might just get a new engine, bro. That crank is ridiculous to fix. Heads, valves, buckets, timing, pistons, gaskets. Yeah, you got some work to do, bro. You got some work to do. You might just want to get a new engine or find a bike that's been wrecked. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Um, no, you're not allowed to. Oh, you're 12, young, sweet. Why is there? What are all these kids doing in my chat? You figured that out the hard way. Yeah. Hopefully you let off the gas. Hopefully you let off the gas. Um, Liked and sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What's my favorite candy? Candy Angel? Nah, I don't know. I like all kinds of candy, bro. I'm a sugar freak. I have a very, very strong sweet tooth. That's why my teeth are all jacked up. Don't eat candy. Don't eat candy. Do I listen to Ricky Martin? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. Good question though. Good question, yo. What's up? Just got off my live. How are you? I'm good. Candy unlocked. What's good for you? Already have the new top end, and crank is coming soon, so I will back to racing next season. Nice, nice. Yeah, I used to ride a lot of dirt bikes, but now that I'm 50, um, and I have a need for speed, it's not a great combination, right? Because when you wreck, it takes a lot longer to heal. The bones are not as strong as they used to be at my age. So, uh, yeah, I just ride a uh, I just ride a Vulcan 1600. That's it's got bags on it. It's got a shield, and it goes fast enough for me. Just send a bunch of people over. Sweet. My bad. I told everyone to come to your channel. Now you're good, bro. I'm not a kid. No, you are a young adult. You are a young adult. Yeah, I've wrecked 4 times already trying to wheelie, and I got a couple good ones though. LOL. They make a little wheelie bar that you can put on the back, so you kind of get used to it, so you don't have to wreck as much. So if you're into just freestyling and doing wheelies, it's something to look into, or just create your own. Um, that is why he's still like, what? Nobody likes you. What do you mean? I don't know what these comments are. I thought we were talking Pete Carroll and football, but I guess nobody wants to talk football. Um, do I have a helicopter? Yes, and an airplane and a yacht, and YouTube's good to me, bro. YouTube's good. With the 4 people I have in here, it's killing it, killing it. Guess your brother's age? I don't know. You got a picture of your brother? What do I look like, Nostradamus over here? What is going on? Candy, did you hear his answer? All in good fun. It was a joke, bro. That was not an answer. I'm the only one in the stream. I think so. I think so. I don't look 50. Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Right? All the time. He didn't look that. Whatever. Your brother is what? Are you 17? Is he an older brother or younger brother? What game are we playing here, bro? What game are we playing here? Happy Wednesday. What's good? Daniel Barry Sports. Y'all go give him a shot. Give him a follow. Give him a like. Spread the love. I'm nearing my promise at well, still working on stuff. I have 2 other bikes, 140 and a 50. I use the 140 more. A 140? I've never even heard of that. What the hell is that? Where in the hell are these ants coming from again? Why do I have ants? What is going on? Oh, good lord. Go away. What the hell? My bad. My bad. Uh, I did not say nothing. Um, your brother is gonna punch you in the head. Maybe he's an older brother. I don't know. Appreciate the 199. Holla! Thanks for showing love, keeping the lights on in the building. I appreciate you, Jimmy VR. Great name, by the way. Help you what? Will I what? All right, I'm missing some of these questions. He's older. 19. He still lives at home. 18, 19. I don't know. No man. A KLX 140. I'm gonna have to look that up. What do you mean, bro? Why not? What? What are we talking about? It's all those cooking. I guess. Can you tell my big brother's age now? Um, I told you 19, 20, 21, somewhere in there. 24. Why not helicopter that thing? Helicopter what? Helicopter and nothing on here, bro. This shit ain't a helicopter blade anyways. I don't know what you're talking about. I got it right. Do I win a prize or something? Do I win a prize? I know. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm not like 5 or nothing, bro. I got it. And this is a family channel, obviously. I'm gonna fix a 250 and race like my life's dependent on it using someone else's bike here soon. Well, good luck to racing, man. Good luck. I hope you win a lot of races. I hope you keep oil in your bike so you don't blow it up and or whatever you did to it the last time because it sounds like you absolutely destroyed the engine. So you need to take better care of it. If you're gonna race, you probably should break it down every 2 races, in my opinion. Rebuild it, redo the heads, because man, that's a lot of wear and tear. Um, or not every 2, but depending on how much you race. Peace, peace, peace. You're chill, humble, and wise. That's what I can say by knowing you for 15 minutes. Well, I appreciate that, Bree. It means a lot. It means a lot. Please question. Please what, bro? Duke. Duke. What is it that you want from me, bro? What is it? You still on the helicopter thing, bro? I'm not swinging my cock like a helicopter on here, bro. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And I don't have a rope to swing for you to satisfy you, bro. So I don't know what you want, bro. I don't know. Um no, but I can be your friend. I mean, yeah, bro. As long as you're in the chat, we're friends. Oh, good. I didn't realize it was a family channel either. This is the most family I've had in my chat ever, I think. Stick to DMs. Yeah, that's probably a better idea. Raider fan for life. Appreciate you with the $2 holla. It's a Yamaha. Uh, it's Yamaha. No probably timing chain. Yeah, those Yamahas are a bitch, man. I like the KTM's, Suzuki, Kawasaki. Let's go Chiefs. Shit, they need to go somewhere. They need to go somewhere. They got 1 win all year, all year. You have to go. Well, peace out, Snoop Dogg. 19. We still the best. But your last name is Bills. How can you have a last name like Josh Bills and be a Chiefs fan? I don't know. I don't know. Dang, I will. How much they paying? How much who's paying? Geomex in the building. What's good? What's good? Got baked. I was convinced I could sneak up on my mirror. I don't even know if I want to read the rest. Almost got to it. Probably would have had it. Just delete. All right, that was bad, bro. I don't even know I read that, man. Geomex, what's doing? What's it good? What's good? What's good? How you feeling about this season? Um, did you watch the press conference? Did you watch the press conference? It was bad, man. Nah, it was pretty good. I like what all these guys have to say, right? The Raiders have not given up, which it's week 3, man. You know, after week 3 last week, last year, it seemed like they were just a little bit different, right? Some people in the locker room had different agendas. Some people were not good with the game plan. They were not good with the practicing. It doesn't seem like we have that this year. At least nobody's really said about it. But these fans, man, these fans with the Jackson Powers Johnson has to be at center, and you know, some of these arrogant ass content creators, mainly the top one, and you know who you are. I ain't trying to say no names, but bro, to go on X and to go on YouTube and act like you know the roster better than a coach, better than the coaching staff who's with them every day while you're sitting up here like me on YouTube. is absolute crazy to me, bro. To sit here and say that JPJ has to be the center because all these fans know more than Pete Carroll, who's coached for over 40 years, is absolutely wild to me. The experience we have in the building is like 200 years of coaching experience to a baseball player, to a dude that played minor league baseball. I don't even know if he's ever put on pads in his life. Wants to talk about who should be the starter over our coaches. Now, I know we all sit up here and play couch GM and we all have our shit. But to go as far as saying people should be fired already, Pete Carroll has lost the team and needs to be fired. People's families believe that JPJ should be the center. What is going on in this nation, bro? What is wrong with these people? Chill, Sal. What it do? What it do? Raiders. Appreciate you pulling up. But man, this shit is wild, dude. The shit I heard on X today. The stuff I seen on YouTube. The talks of firing coaches on week 3 is absolutely wild. However, however, I will say one thing. When it comes to run game coordinator, something has to be done, right? You don't have to fire Brendan Carroll. You don't have to demote him from the offensive line duties. But you should very, 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 very strongly look into giving those duties to somebody else and let him focus solely on building this offensive line into a dynamic, tight-knit machine. That should be the only focus. He should not have to worry about run game coordinating, right? Let him and somebody else figure that out, but let him do his job, bro. Let him do his job. There are reporters, and then there's Raider Nation. You know, I don't like the fact that somebody has 200,000 followers, and everything they say, people jump on board like this dude is Jesus. Like, it's absolutely wild to me, bro. Absolutely wild to me. And you got everybody all over social media saying, you know, we should have Pete Carroll's head because he hired his son at Brendan Carroll after 3 games. Like, we don't know what this unit is going to be. People are flipping out. We had 1 game with JPJ at right guard. 1. We had 2 games with Alex Kappa. Should there be a competition at right guard? Abso-fucking-lutely. Absolutely there should be a competition. Because we seen JPJ all through camp battle until Alex Kappa couldn't battle no more, right? Alex Kappa got injured. Then it was JP's job. It was given to him. He didn't earn it. There was still a competition. There was still a competition in the building. It never ended. The only thing that ended is one got injured and the other one got more reps. Now, when the season started, JPJ was still the starter because Kappa was hurt. He was just coming back from his injury. He was just starting to get there. And Pete Carroll made it perfectly clear then there was still a competition, only at the right guard spot. He was happy with everybody else. He's happy with Meredith at center. It's a growing thing. It's going to take time, right? He's never played the position. There's going to be mistakes. Pete Carroll knows that. The coaching staff knows that. They're willing to deal with those mistakes. They feel like they have a strong enough team to be able to overcome those mistakes. Now, last week, it didn't show up on paper at all whatsoever. It didn't show up on film, right? It might have showed up on paper. I mean, it didn't show up on film. But to sit here and constantly say that you know this roster better than Pete Carroll, you know this roster better than Chip Kelly, you know the roster better than the people that are in the building that have been working with these guys like Patrick Graham and, you know, Robbie Leonard, all these guys that have been in the building working with these guys for 3 or 4 years. Come on, bro. That's arrogant. That's arrogant as hell. That's arrogant as hell to think as a content creator that's never put on pads that you know football better than a guy that's been coaching this shit his whole entire life. And for any of us to sit here as fans because I'm not a football guru. I know a lot about football. I like to think I do. If y'all think I do, that's cool. If you don't, I understand. But I like to think that I know my shit. But I'm never ever gonna sit here and say that okay, like this has to be this way, and we would be winning if it was this way. And to get everybody to jump on this bandwagon to be like, man, we need to get rid of Brennan Carroll right now because we lost to a team that was in the NFC Championship last year, a team that was a touchdown, what, two touchdowns, a touchdown and a field goal away from being in the Super Bowl. We are not on that level. We are not on anybody's level. We haven't made it to the playoffs. We haven't won a playoff game. We were 4-13 the year before that. We had a chance and we lost the last 3 games and we didn't make it to the playoffs. That dude constantly hates on the Raiders. That is why I unsubscribed to Chat Sports. He's a fucking phony making a living off the shield. I mean, look, I'm not gonna hate on nobody for what they do. That's his job. My thing is everybody listens to him. Everybody believes this man. Like I heard people like there's people constantly in his comments saying Mitchell Renz is the voice of the nation. You have 200,000 followers. If you're the voice of the nation, why the fuck are you dividing the nation? Why are you dividing it by saying there's a problem because JPJ is not the center and that's who we want. That's who I want and I know more than you as a content creator and JPJ should be that. And if not, we're going to start all this shit and divide the nation that should be together backing and supporting our team and still having faith because we're not 1-12. We haven't lost 10 games in a fucking row like we flipping row like we did last year. Sorry, YouTube. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I try to sit up here and, point out when shit goes bad. Yes, I get frustrated because I know they're better than this. A lot of people don't see it or think that, that we're that good. But I feel like a lot of positions that there's talent there. There's talent there. It just has to be brought out. It just has to be brought out. And to be brought out, you have to develop. We didn't have no developing last year. There was no developing. Our rookies sat on the bench. The only rookies that played was JPJ and DJ Glaze. It's because they had to. DJ Glaze didn't win the job. He was in there because he had to. The rest of the rookies, Brock Bowers, I mean, come on. Brock got all the snaps. But other than that, none of the, UDFAs or nobody really got any snaps last year. There was no development of guys. This year, we have a coach that wants to develop players. Yes, he said we're going to come out and win and hit the ground running, but we've only lost 2 games in a row. The Chargers game, I believe we could have won. We had every chance to win that game. The game Sunday, when I did film review, and if you missed the film review, it'll be up for another day or two. Go check it out. When I did film review and I broke down the film, I showed you how many chances we had to make that game a close game. We were down 10-3 and had 3 possessions. We went 3 and out. 3 possessions, 3 and out. We had Trey Tucker with 3 touchdowns. We've been waiting for him to explode all year. Brock Bowers has only caught the ball like 4 or 5 times because he's injured. Like, we have all these things. Ashton Genty, my dude said, is a bust. Ashton Genty has... Oh, my God, you're killing me. Ashton Genty has 146 yards after contact. After contact. You know how many yards he has total? 145. Because he's losing yards. Because he's losing yards getting hit. So you got minus the yards he's losing while he's getting hit in the backfield. As soon as he touches the football, he's still gaining positive yards. The yards, every yard that he gets when he's hit by 2-3 people in the backfield is earned. An earned yard. It's not a given yard. It wasn't a hole opened up. It wasn't an assisted yard. It's all him. He's fighting for every single yard he gets, bro. How you gonna sit here and say he's a bust? Genty is a bust. Bowers was a flash in the pan. Raiders have 0 players on their roster. I mean, we all have our opinions, right? We all have our opinions. But I don't feel like Pete Carroll would have took this job and took this you know, huge thing because like the title says, Pete Carroll was not ready. Pete Carroll was not ready for this, right? He was not ready for Raider Nation to turn on him after 3 weeks. He was not ready for the ruthless aggression that we bring. As soon as you mess up in the Raider Nation, they're calling for your head. They'll kidnap your family and shit, tie them up for ransom until we win some games. Bro, this is Raider Nation. They're ruthless as hell. And Pete Carroll knew part of it, but I don't think he expected, fans after 2 losses in week 3, bro. Week 3. We are in week 3. We have a quarterback that has thrown for 3 touchdowns in one game, 3 interceptions in another game, and had a decent game, right? We are up and down. Wait till we put it all together. Arnie Garza, where you been, man? I was worried about you. I thought you was like hemmed up or something. Um, but as I was saying, man, all these people walking the plank already and saying the season is over, they're giving up on the Raiders is absolutely crazy, bro. We play the we play the Bears this week. The Bears are the worst team in the NFL when it comes to running. They've given up 125 yards per game. 125 yards. They're averaging 5.7 or 6.7 yards per carry given up. This is a bust out game for Ashton Genty, right? Then we play the Colts. I don't even want to get into the Colts. Let's just skip over that game. The next game, we play the Titans. You know where the Titans are ranked when it comes to run defense? Right behind the Chicago Bears. Those are 2 winnable games, right? So, if we win those 2 games and we lose one, where we at? Where we at? 3-4, right? 4-3. So, there is plenty of hope, man. Plenty of hope. These games are not impossible to win, right? This dude right here saying we ain't got no weapons. Where you at? What was clown's name? School the Pro. School the Pro says, to be honest, the Chargers are the greatest team of all time. Oh man, you're a bolt up fan. That's why. So my guy right here says Genty is a bust. The Raiders have 0 players, and Brock Bowers was a was a flash in the pan, bro. That's the biggest flash I've ever seen in any pan in my life. Come back here at the end of the season and tell me that, because when Brock Bowers is healthy, he's unguardable, right? He's the best tight end in football. So right now he's got a brace on his leg, but to say we have no weapons, I mean, we have no number one receiver, I'll tell you that. And I think that's the problem that is hurting Ashton Genty in this run game, is because thank God, and in garbage time, whatever you want to say, Trey Tucker had, 2 deep touchdowns. That's gonna make defenses think, okay, maybe they do have a deep threat. Maybe it's not just the rookie Dante Thornton that can't seem to get on the same page with Geno Smith. Maybe they do have a threat. And if Trey Tucker can continue to do that, which I think he can against these defensive backs, you know, if they continue those crossing routes, those drag routes, and get him where he's 1-on-1, Trey Tucker's gonna win a lot of those matches. A lot of those matches. Seen that dude, like when he first came into the league, man, he was skinny, he was small. Now the dude's arms are bigger, his legs are bigger, right? He seems more focused. He got his LASIK eye surgery. Um, Trey Tucker's going to be an asset. He's going to be an asset. Him and Geno have a connection going, and they're not even throwing the ball to Brock Bowers yet. So just wait till this team gets rolling. I've said it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. By week five, which is what, 2 more weeks away, 2 more weeks away. By week 5, and I probably should have looked at the schedule before I said by week 5, because week 5 is the Colts game, and if they win that game, then damn, I'm gonna look like a genius. But by week 6, no, by week 5, man. By week 5, I think this team comes together. And people keep telling me I'm stupid. I don't know football. You don't know ball. If it takes 6 weeks for a team to come together, man, what the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on. How long y'all been Raider fans? Does not anybody not remember the 1983 Raiders? 1983 Raiders? Hold on. What was their schedule? Let's look this up. Hold on. Because right, teams can't start out 1-2 and then be competitive, right? It's not gonna happen. Not in the NFL. Um, Hold on, let me pull this up. 1983. Um, Stats. Shit, I don't know. All right, hold up. Hold up, I'm looking. Bear with me, bear with me. Bear with me. Oh, I typed that in wrong. Could probably help. Ah, going off of my soapbox over here. Okay, that was not what I was looking for. Oh, no. All right, well, that didn't work. I can't ask it the right damn question. Um, Genty is a buzz. I already read all that shit. I don't know what I'm saying. Salute Rebel, got that. Yo, what up, damn? I'll support you. YouTube channel. Um, and you hate the team, bro. Let's go, Chiefs. um, Man, we gotta hate the team, bro. They're rivals, right? They're rivals. I don't hate the team. I hate all 31 teams. It's nothing personal. I like you, Tyler. You good. It's just your team, bro. Yeah, Chargers are the best, not having any Super Bowl wins. Oh, that's another thing I want to talk about, man. That's another thing I want to talk about. You see my guy constantly, when we play the Chargers, wearing the 0 rings. He's holding up the jersey right in the front row, Mr. Doctor. Keep antagonizing them, bro. Keep giving them fire, right? Keep adding fire to their fuel. Because this team, the Chargers team right now, doesn't look like they're a team to be fucked with. And I wouldn't keep giving them more fuel. Yes, they don't have any rings, but damn, this could be the year, bro. I mean, if their defense gets to a little bit better, which in time, they got some injuries gonna come back, bro. I hate to say it, but I thought the Broncos were gonna be the nasty team this year. The Chargers are looking, man. And please God, like I said yesterday, come on Jackson Dart, go out there, do your thing. You and Malik Neighbors, Scatterboo, and let's end this win streak. We can't let the Chargers heads get any bigger. Chargers fans heads get any bigger. I don't see how the Raiders drafted Genty with the O line that bad. Elton Felix, I hear you, bro. I hear you. And if you look at the run defense, they were ranked last in the NFL. They were ranked last in the NFL the year before that. They are horrible when it comes to the run. So I do not know the answer. I do know this, that if you go back and watch film on Charles Grant, when it comes to the run game, the man is a dog. He's a punisher. When you go back and look at Caleb Rogers, go back and watch his film in college. The man is a road grader. He's physical. He's dominant. And I believe he should be out there right now. Some people don't think, the rookie should be out there. I'm on the other side. I think he's the best guard we have out there right now. And so the Raiders, they did address it, right? They addressed it, but they addressed it in the third round. And, some people say Charles Grant was a reach in the third round. I think he has all the tools to be a solid lockdown, cornerstone tackle. I do. But it's going to take time. That's why they drafted him where they did. Pete Carroll can work on him. We have Joe Philbon in the building. Brendan Carroll is not as bad as y'all think. He's not proven. Yes, he hasn't got a job anywhere but except his father. Except, in college, right? He went to Washington. He went to Arizona State or Arizona. So, he's been around. He's been around. But yes, this is his biggest opportunity. But I don't believe, like I said yesterday, I don't feel Pete Carroll would have would have brought his son in if he didn't think he was, capable of doing the job. And also, like I said, you have Joe Philbon, who has won a Super Bowl, who has been a head coach, who is a great offensive line coach, one of the best that's ever done it. So, our offensive line, when he took over last year, in the last 4 or 5 games of the season, went from 22nd to 13th to 8th best. We finished the season. Some people had us 8th best offensive line, but that was the last 4 games. That's when Philbon took over. So we still have Joe Philbon in the building, and I believe that he's not going to let Brendan Carroll fail. He's not going to let Chip bring his son in and let him fail. And I don't think Chip Kelly is going to either. We've seen the frustration on Chip Kelly throwing his pen down, right? Like these guys are going to pull it together. There's too much. There's too much experience in the building. There's too much knowledge that have been in this position. They know how to do it. They have the blueprint to get the best out of people. Everybody in the building that we've brought in, from the linebacker coach to the running back coach we brought in from Notre Dame, all these guys have been proven to get the best out of their players. And it's only week 3, man. It's only week 3. Arnie Gardner says, question, will Brendan Carroll survive the whole season if he doesn't start JPJ at center? Yes. Yes, absolutely. Brendan Carroll will start the whole season. Brendan Carroll's not going anywhere. Pete Carroll is not firing his son. Now, he has demoted his son before, right? Was it a Pete Carroll decision? Was it the GM's decision? Was it upper management? That is something we'll never know, right? Unless you're a little fly on the wall or a birdie in the building. I mean, a fly in the, you know what the hell I'm saying, bro. A fly on the wall or, a birdie outside the window. You're not going to know, right? You're not going to know that conversation unless you ask them and they tell you, which I don't know if he would. So, yes, man. Yes, commitment to excellence. Never give up. Brendan Carroll is not going to go anywhere, bro. Now, they might delinquish some of the run game coordinator if Genty doesn't get going. But from what I've seen from Genty and what I've seen from this offensive line is it's a new system. Even Colton Miller is struggling. Like, he doesn't look great out there, right? You have guys, leaving guys isolated one-on-one when they should be doubling. You have, Alex Cappa looking the wrong way when he should be looking this way, and, coming around the center and pulling and blocking guys. There's a lot of shit out of sync. But also, like I said, and like I keep saying, JPJ has only played 1 game this season. Alex Cappa has played 2, right? Alex Cappa has chemistry and cohesion and live action when the bullets are flying more than JPJ out there. JPJ has a problem with concussions. If you can't stay healthy, you're not going to be in the game. So everybody's flipping out. Oh my God, how come there's only a competition between Jackson Powers Johnson and Alex Cappa? Why isn't there competition anywhere else? It's simple. It's simple, bro. It's common sense. And it seems like it from Pete Carroll and, Chip Kelly and the rest of the team that all seems to think it's not a problem, right? It's a simple answer. And I've explained it and, again and again and again. There's still a competition because the battle hasn't been solved yet. They don't know who that guy is, who the best guy is. Alex Cappa missed a lot of camp. So he comes in there not having as much camp time as JPJ. JPJ has missed 2 games, so he doesn't have as much game time experience as Alex Cappa. So last week and this week, they're going to figure it out. Who's going to be the best guy? And I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if somehow Alex Cappa is the starter. I don't want it to be Alex Cappa. But if that's the best guy for the position and our coaches with 40 plus years experience feel like that's the best guy for the position, bro, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So to answer your question, JPJ is not starting at center, Arnie. It is not happening. The whole thumbnail says right on it, Pete Carroll is fed up. He's fed up with the questions. He's fed up with everybody assuming that Jackson Powers Johnson should be the center. And he already said, he asked the question today, is there going to be a change? Will there be a shot where JPJ is center? He said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So That's harsh words for Raider Nation, for everybody that thinks they're, the couch GM and they're better than the coaching staff. That's going to be a hard pill for them to swallow. And there's going to be a lot of people bitching and crying, you know, all season long. JPJ should be the center. JPJ should be the center. But I guarantee you, when we start winning, those same people will be going, damn, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Pete Carroll knows what he's doing. Maybe a guy who's coached and won two national championships, been in two Super Bowls, didn't have a baseball glove on. Come on, wasn't a pitcher. The dude is a coach, bro. Coach with rings. He got rings for all four. He got for 4 fingers. Okay, 3. He should have won the last Super Bowl. Bad decision. You didn't run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. But what I'm saying is all these people that are crying that JPJ is not the center because they can't get the dude's dick out of his mouth, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But tomorrow, we're going to break down some film on JPJ. Last year, we're going to break down his guard and center, and we're going to put him on blast because the film wasn't great. I don't know what you guys are seeing to think that Pete Carroll is just off his rocker because he's 74 years old and he can't coach no more. He forgot how to coach. He's lost a step. Bro, to me, that press conference said it all. He basically said everything that we wanted Antonio Pierce to do last year. He stood on his business. He stood on business and said, absolutely not. When they asked, would there be a change at the center position? Absolutely not. Done. He even went as far as to say, I know JPJ is what you guys want to hear. But JPJ has concussion problems. He missed 2 weeks of football because of concussion he got in practice. They're not going to just throw this guy out there because Raider Nation, our content creators, think that he should be the guy, bro. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, again, very, very hard pill to swallow for everybody. But, man, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm not panicking until week 9. If we come out and get blasted, right, after a bye week, then there's a problem. If we come out with the same flipping offensive line and JPJ is not the center and Jordan Meredith struggles, if there's still missed snaps, if there's still no run game, then yes, I'm gonna start flipping out. You're gonna see me panic, but am I gonna call for people to be fired? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because I did it last year, right? It was what, week 5, week 6 when I said, all right, Luke Getsy got to go. Gardner Minshew got to go, which I already knew that before the season started. But this season, I don't, man. I don't. So, I'm sure it is. Rebel, who has played the worst offense and defense or special teams in the last game? Arnie Garza always got the good questions. I don't want to put it on one person. I think, Gino would like to have some throws back. There was some guys open that, he took sacks that he wouldn't like to take. I think I think Alex Kappa with his seven quarterback pressures, 3 hurries, and 2 quarterback hits and a sack. I think Alex Kappa would like to have a lot of his game back. I think DJ Clays with 6 hurries, a sack, and a quarterback hit, or 6 pressures, I think he would like to have a lot of that game back. I think Sam Webb, that missed 2 tackles on the kick returns that ended up being touchdowns, I think he would like to have a lot of that game back. Raider Ryan, what's good, man? I'm way behind in the chat. I'm not paying attention. So I think it was a collective team loss. This was definitely a team loss. It wasn't offensive line. It wasn't, Gino. It wasn't Ashton Genty. It wasn't the defense. The defense was on the field way too long. There was too many 3-and-outs by the offense. You're never going to win like that. You can't run the football, but a couple plays here and there. There were, again, garbage time touchdowns. So it was a collective loss. They came out flat. I think when you go to the East Coast, and, somebody got on my ass today because I said this in their live. When you go to the East Coast, you got to have 3 or 4 days time Because if you've ever got on an airplane, and not many people have traveled, right? There's many people that have never flown in their life, so they don't know. But if you ever got on an airplane from Las Vegas to Washington, or from Las Vegas to New England, back to Las Vegas, right? Play a home game, and then the following week you got to fly to Washington. For one, man, that's a long ass flight, right? You're gonna have lag. You're gonna have, the timing change. You got to get acclimated to the weather. It's a lot, and I don't want to hear this shit. They're grown man. They get paid a lot of money. Yes, yes, they do. But to show up on a Friday, to land on a Friday, to have one day of practice, and then you're playing in a game first thing in the morning, that's not enough. So as a coaching staff, as a coach that's been, 40 years experience, I would think that he would know that, man, you know, let's make this flight a little bit easier, right? Let's finish this game at Allegiant Stadium. Let's pack up Monday morning and let's fly to Washington D.C., right? Let's have a whole week there. Let's have a whole week there because we got a home game after that. So when that game's over, we come home. We're home for a whole week. That makes more sense to me. I thought the team just looked flat. I think there was a lot of things that, a lot of bad tackling. There was horrible tackling in the run game. We didn't get a lot of pressure because they threw the ball within 2 seconds. If go back and watch the film breakdown I did yesterday, many of their plays, the ball was out in 2 seconds. One Mississippi, two, the ball's out. That's, I mean, and Mississippi is probably longer than, when you count it at school, you're like one Mississippi, two Mississippi, right? I was thinking one Mississippi, two Mississippi, the ball's out. So that's probably three, maybe 3 seconds, but they were getting the ball out. You can't put pressure on a quarterback when he throws the ball fast. You can't put pressure on a quarterback when they're running zone read constantly. You can't put pressure on a quarterback when they're, running read option and the quarterback's keeping it and having big success. When he's handing it off, having huge success. So it was a collective loss, man. Collective loss. I hope we get the offense line together before someone gets hurt. That's yeah, man. Question: why is there a problem with JPJ only playing on a team in competition at the starting position? What is Pete's problem with playing JPJ only player on the team in competition? Well, because they had a camp battle, right? They had Dylan Parham at left guard. They tried Thayer Munford at left guard. They tried JPJ at left guard. They tried Caleb Rogers at left guard. That was 4 different people that they battled for that position. They also had a very small battle between JPJ and Jordan Meredith. Jordan Meredith obviously won that battle right away because they very soon put JPJ at a battle at right guard with Alex Kappa, who, let's not forget, Alex Kappa was penciled in, already wrote up as the starting guard for the Las Vegas Raiders at the right guard position. It was already his job. And every roster breakdown and everything they did, they had Alex Kappa as the right guard. They had Meredith at center. They had already made that switch between JPJ and Meredith. So why is there only a competition between the right guard? Parham won his job. Colton Miller got paid. It's already his job. Meredith beat out JPJ. There was a small battle for like 2-3 weeks, right? 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then they moved him over to the right guard because he lost that battle. So he didn't win at left guard. He didn't win at center, and they moved him to right guard. And now he hasn't won there either, obviously, or there wouldn't still be a battle. So that's the only reason I could see. My guy Raider Ryan, shout out to you. Appreciate you being a member. Shout out to all my members in the building. I hope we get the offense line together before someone gets hurt. And like I said, man, everybody's blaming this offensive line, but there was a lot of plays, and I did the film breakdown where Gino could have got the ball out, where Gino could have threw it away and not taken those sacks, right? where Geno could have ran for a first down, which everybody said that was the problem with AOC. He can't make plays with his legs. Yes, Geno made some, but there was opportunities for more. That's all I'm saying. So, the offensive line, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get it together before somebody gets hurt because there's still a battle at right guard. So if Alex Kappa starts at right guard this week, then that battle's pretty much over. And I don't see JPJ being on the team. I see him, being in trade talks, and people aren't going to like it in Raider Nation. But there's something going on with JPJ and Pete Carroll or Brendan Carroll. There is something going on. There is something going on. If you don't know, I don't think I can't show videos on here because I'm on my phone. So let me try this. No, it's already off. Damn it. All right, so who was it? Nick Walter. If you have X, right? If you have X, go over to Nick Walters, at Nick Walt on X, and look at the video he posted. The Raiders are warming up. Pete Carroll goes over to Alex Kappa, dabbing him up, pats him on the shoulder, walks away. Walks over to JPJ. JPJ is warming up on his knees. He looks up. Pete Carroll looks at him, says, "How you doing?" Walks away. There's something going on with that. There is something there. Pete Carroll has went up and dabbed up every single person that he's walked by in every single morning except JPJ. What's going on with that? Somebody tell me. Somebody please tell me. There is something going on. Now, this is my take. Last year, damn, 6 people just popped in and left that quick? Y'all crazy. Last year, right? JPJ on the sideline when Jordan Meredith got hurt. He tried to send in somebody else. He tried to send in Dylan Parham to play center, and JPJ stood up and said, "That's my job, coach. Let me go do it. I was an all-pro center. I was the best center in college last year. That is my spot. Let me go show you." And AP said, "Go do it." Did he try that same attempt with Pete Carroll and Pete Carroll not take it the same way, right? I think AP was like, "Okay, I respect that," right? I think Pete Carroll might have looked at it as disrespect, right? Also, let me talk about this. You heard me earlier say a certain content creator is going around saying there's people's families liking his post on X, right? Commenting in his comment section that are parents of players, right? So what he's saying is there is talks in households of Raiders players about this offensive line and about what is going on with the offensive line. Now, could it be possibly that these talks got around, right? Parents talking to other parents, right? Somebody heard a whisper and it got back to Pete Carroll and Brendan Carroll of people complaining about how they're coaching or how they're coaching the team. That's the only thing I could think of, bro. That's the only thing I could think of because there is tension between Pete Carroll and JPJ. Now, is it just because Raider Nation are, all in love with JPJ and think he's going to be, the next greatest, Jim Otto? That could be it too. I don't know. But there is something going on there, bro. There's something going on there. What else we got? Tanner Jack, what's good? Appreciate you. Let me get to all these chats. Pete Carroll's son sucks. That is not nice. Raiders are 9-7, I believe, in 83, and we were the first wild card team to ever win a Super Bowl. That's what I was looking for, Geo Mex. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. 9-7. 9-7. Wild card team. Snuck into the playoffs. I don't know where my Super Bowl hat is. damn it. And we got a trophy, right? We got a trophy. Something the Chargers know nothing about, Chargers fans. um, Thank you for that, GeoMix. 9-7. What I'm saying is we started off the team. We started off that year a little rough, right? A little rough around the edges. Took a couple L's we shouldn't have took, but they stayed together. They got better. They developed players, and those players made it to the playoffs and didn't lose another game until they won the Super Bowl. So, all I'm saying is don't pull the plug on this team, man. Don't tell me that this team, that any team can't come back. How many teams have been 0-4? Last year, let me tell you this. Last year, right? The Los Angeles Rams started 1-4 or 0-4. 1-4, I do believe. The Los Angeles Rams started 1-4. They went on to go 10-7 and win their division. 1-4. Now I know we don't have a Matthew Stafford. Um, do we? Right? I don't know. I know we don't have a Puka Nacua, but do we? Brock Bowers. Um, who else they got over there? Right? They got rid of. They got rid of their other receiver. All I'm saying, bro. All I'm saying is you can't tell me because we're 1-2 and we're struggling with the run game with the 6th overall pick. Why did we draft the 6th overall pick? Somebody asked earlier. Why do you draft the best generational talent ever come out of football, right? Why? The Giants did it. Now, it's probably not a good thing that they didn't develop the offensive line before they traded Saquon Barkley to the Eagles, who won a Super Bowl in the first year with the offensive line. The Raiders just drafted 2 offensive linemen that could be very, very, very solid, Pro Bowl caliber, right? Caleb Rogers is not a joke, man. Go watch film on this young man. Now he's green. Charles Grant is a beast. He's a mammoth of a man, like a 7-foot wingspan. How many guys are gonna beat that dude, right? All you gotta do is take one step back and put an arm out. Like ain't nobody getting to you. They can't reach you. So, man, there's promise, bro. There's promise. Shout out to my guy GMX for the 9-7 Raiders Super Bowl. Gio is running his life. What? Gino is running for his life all game long. Genty got hit 11 times, 11 carries before the line. And still had, what, 40-something, 50 yards, 60 yards? What do you have? Still had 60-something yards, I do believe. Hit those likes. Elton Felix. I would say Pete Carroll has always had a good defense. Team no matter what. So I think the Raiders will have a good defense. Maybe a top 5 defense in a few years. Man, come on. It ain't going to take that long. We do need some corner help. But he went out and got Eric Stokes. Eric Stokes has been locked down pretty much, right? He hasn't been the best, but he's made some plays. He's made some plays in the end zone, knocking passes away. The biggest run play last week, Eric Stokes was one of the only Raiders that ran from the other side of the field and almost caught that dude. He got there at the 2-yard line, and one more step, and he might have had a chance to make a play, try to hit him, knock the ball out, but he never gave up. I like seeing that in Eric Stokes. I like that. I really like the fact that Darian Porter got in last week and was solid in all his coverages. He made some damn good tackles. He made some tackles on special teams. So, Pete Carroll knows what he's doing, bro. We got some rookies that he just didn't think were, ready to go. So he pumped up Kai Blue Kelly, right? He gassed up Kai Blue and said, man, I want you to make this team. And Kai Blue Kelly stepped up. Now he's struggling a little bit, but I think it's more communication. It's not, the fact that he can't cover because he's been covering his ass off, right? Nobody's out there killing it. So, Jimmy, week 4 Bears, 9:28, 1:25 p.m. The Colts Sunday at 10 a.m. Week 6 Titans. God, these 10 a.m. starts are killing us, bro. These 10 a.m. starts are murdering us. Murdering us. Appreciate the facts, Grim. Yeah, that's gonna be rough, man. That Colts game, 10 a.m. In Indy. I need to try to get to that game. I really need to try to get to that game. I think that's going to be the turnaround of our season. I'm calling it right now. Calling it right now. You heard it here first. Raiders Rebel, Raiders Unleashed. The turnaround of our season will be the Colts ass whooping. They will be undefeated until they play the Raiders. And we going to win that game. We going to win that game. I'm calling it now. OMG, yes, he is what? Just a reminder. Him, you know he is. What? What? Who the what? What? Who is what? What are you talking about? He sucks. Who sucks? Brendan Carroll does not suck. And spell his name right, you're gonna talk on a man. Who do you hate the most in the AFC West? The Chiefs, the Donkeys, and the Chargers. I don't hate any of them, man. I don't hate any of them. I have mad respect for everybody in the NFL. I hate on any team that thinks, they have a nation because there's only one nation, that's RaiderNation. Um, but I don't hate on any teams in the NFL. A lot of people might think I do. I really don't, I don't dislike the Chiefs. I don't hate the Chiefs. I just hate them when they're playing us. I just don't want them to win because they're in our division. I don't hate the Chargers, right? They're an LA team. I'm an LA boy. So I never rooted for them, but I never rooted against them, right? Um, okay, maybe the Broncos. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, the Broncos. It's got to be the Broncos. The Donkeys. It's something about that orange, and I like orange. I hunt. I was a big I was a big Tony Stewart fan back in the day. So orange has been my color. My daughter was born on Halloween. But it's something about that donkey orange and blue, man. It just irritates me, rubs me the wrong way. So Noah Adonis, appreciate you. Great question. Sucks. What? He hates the Chiefs and the Broncos. I don't hate anybody. I just dislike them. Hate is a strong word. Raider Nate, why is Pete being so stubborn about JPJ at the center position? I think you just heard my rant. If you didn't, comment again and let me know. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, sounding like a clown. I think Pete Carroll's trying to bring up as many as you can before he's done with the coaching. He don't care about wins or losses. Shout out to Jason Childress. I wouldn't be mad at that to an extent, right? I wouldn't be happy because that means that we're gonna have 3 years of shit, of disappointment, right? I'm not good with that, and I don't think Pete Carroll is, right? Pete Carroll didn't come here to lose games, man. Pete Carroll didn't come out of retirement to give it one last shot to lose 2 games in a row. And you can mark my words. You can mark my words. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I'm going out on a limb here again because I've already done it so many times this year. But I just don't feel like we lose 2 games in a row again. I just don't. I don't. I feel like we can win a game. We might even go on a run here and end up winning the next 3. I would love to see that. Puts us at 4-3. Or what, 4-2? That would put us at 4-2 going into Kansas City. I'd be down like Charlie Brown for all of that. Come on, man. I've had over 100 people in here, 18 likes. Show some love. Show some love. But, that's fine, bro. Coach up as many people as you can. If you can coach up Kai Blue Kelly, right? If you can coach up Eric Stokes and you can coach up Darian Porter, and those dudes can be cornerstones for the next 2 or 3 years and just get better and better and better and better, right? We don't have to waste a first round pick on a corner. We can waste those first and second round picks on the offensive line that everybody thinks is trash. But I'm telling you this, and I'm going to keep telling you this. Jordan Meredith is an absolute flipping dog. That man has been cut from the Raiders, added to the Raiders, re-signed to the Raiders, put on the practice squad, brought up from the practice squad, released, signed to the practice squad, put back on the roster, released again, brought back to the practice squad. finally, finally got put in the game and stayed in. He played left guard. He played right guard, and now he is playing center. And the disrespect for Jordan fucking Meredith from the Raider Nation and the fans from this team is absolutely disgusting, bro. It's disgusting. All that man has done is been a UDFA player that has come in and gave his heart and soul to this team, and you want to tell him he's not a center? He's not a center. He's not good enough to play center. He was good enough to play left guard. He was good enough to play right guard for us. When he was playing right guard, we had he was the best run blocker we had. He was graded an overall 80 last year from PFF. Jordan Meredith is that dude, bro. Jordan Meredith is that dude. He's had his struggles in the NFL. He's not gonna give his shit up, right? Look at that dude. Just look at him. He just looks like a dog. He's got that monster in him. That's why they moved him from guard to center. So, the disrespect for Jordan Meredith is absolutely crazy in my mind. This dude has given nothing but blood, sweat, and tears to the nation, and a couple bad snaps, and y'all ready to pull the plug because y'all think JPJ is that dude. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy. JPJ has not done shit, really. He has not done nothing. His run grade was horrible last year. His PFF passing grade was not that good. Like, he's had a couple of good plays. The only reason y'all are so stuck on JPJ is because he gets penalties after the after the play's over, because he throws guys to the ground, because he manhandles guys. But most of those times they're after the play. It's not why the play's going on. Like, dude, just watch the film on the first game and see how many times he got beat. These coaches know what they're doing, bro. If I was a coach, I would sit down Travis Kelce in a few games. Oh, let's talk about that. My guy Tyler Hilton. I mean, obviously, that says it all how you feel about it. But how do y'all feel about Travis Kelce going in there, yelling and screaming with his coach, like to where his coach Andy Reid had to come up and fat bump him? Right? He didn't have a shoulder, so he had to get him with the belly. But when your coach comes up and bumps a player because he's talking shit, that's a problem, bro. That's a problem. And Travis Kelce has been in that old man face yelling and screaming before. He's disrespectful as hell. And I think that's why Patrick Mahomes hasn't been throwing him the ball a lot lately, is because, I told you. There's something about that cooter, bro. Once you get that cooter, your brain just you lose it. You lose it. People fall in love and they lose everything. So Travis Kelce, he's got one thing on the brain. One thing on the brain, and it's a country singer. Is Joe Philbon the issue? That's a good question, right? Could Joe Philbon be the one that moved JPJ to center or moved JPJ to guard? I don't know. Did I miss a super chat from somebody? Oh shit! Raider fan for life. Raiders, shout out for the $2. Holla! I appreciate you. And anybody else that wants to become a member, you know what to do. Become a member. There'll be more shit drop in. Members' comments always get read first. We had high expectations with all-star winning coaching staff. What the fuck happened? Well, my guy, it's week 3. What do you mean what happened? What do you mean what happened? So far, we put up 20 points in week 1. More points than we've put up in week 1 in I don't know how many years. We won for the first time in week 1 in, a couple years. The next game, we had opportunities. We had plenty of opportunities to win. Our quarterback shit the bed. He proved that under pressure, he's the same Geno Smith. Now, last week, Geno was, the Geno that we all know he can be if everything goes right. And Shout out to my guy Raider Honcho, bro. Raider Honcho said it best, better than anything I've ever heard. He said there's two kind of quarterbacks. There's a quarterback that can do it all, and there's a quarterback that the if quarterback, right? The if quarterback. If your O line is solid, if you have a running game, right? If you have protection, if you have all day to throw, right? Geno Smith is an if quarterback. Everything has to be perfect for him to be a great quarterback. Now, on the other hand, you know, you have guys that can make plays with their legs. You have guys that, um, yeah, so you have guys like a Josh Allen, right? Guys like a Josh Allen who, for a long, long time, threw 3 interceptions a game, right? What did he do? He got better. He evolved. He developed, right? And now he's a dude that whether you have an offensive line, whether you have a star receiver or not, they're still winning games. They're still winning games. So, you know, my prediction for the Raiders to be 12-5, I said everything has to go right. We have to stay healthy. We have to have a dominant run game. Geno can't throw interceptions, right? Turn the ball over. We have to be able to block, and our defense has to be, top 10 or top 15. So far, none of those have happened. But again, we have 4 games until the bye, right? 4 games until the bye. 2 of those teams are the worst rushing teams in the NFL right now, and the Bears and Titans. So, um, I don't know what everybody's expectations were, but Raider Night, I remember when I said 12-5, everybody told me I was crazy that this team was ass. We weren't good enough. So I don't know what your expectations were, but let me know what your record was because most people had us winning 7 games, 8 games. Maybe we can win 9 games and go 9-7, right? That's what everybody said. Maybe. So I think it's funny that everybody's expectations for the Las Vegas Raiders jumped after week 1 when we beat a nobody New England Patriots team. Because nobody was on the bandwagon thinking we were a playoff team or we were going to win all these games. And now everybody's disappointed and, their expectations weren't met that weren't even there. It's like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy to me. Hey, Candy, is you making me feel like a piece of fucking what? I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't make you feel like anything. If you're talking about me, uh, oh, F Swifty fan, you should be, bro. You should be because she's destroying your team. She's ruining Travis Kelsey's brain, and the dude can't focus on football. He's focused on Cooter, and that's a bad thing. I think JPJ's concussions were worse than we think. I've talked about that since we drafted him, man. I don't know. I don't know. I know you come to the channel off and on, but I don't know how long you've been watching me. But since day one, when we drafted JPJ, I said this man plays too physical. He's going to be a problem. He's going to miss games. And I talked about it last night. You can't have a center who is, not the quarterback of your offense, right? But he's the quarterback of your offensive line. He's the one that's pointing things out. He's the one that's picking up blitzes, right? He's the one that should know all that. You can't constantly have a guy that might play a game or two and then is going to get a concussion and be out for a week or two, and then might play another game and then be out for another week or two, right? So availability is the best ability in the NFL. And if you're not available because you have concussions, then it's a bad thing. And like I said, I don't know if JPJ will be on the team past the trading deadline, bro. So somebody clip this, write it down. But really, I don't think JPJ is going to be on this team if he doesn't win the right guard spot. And concussions were a big problem, right? You've already had 3 concussions since you were with the Raiders. He got a concussion as a rookie in rookie minicamp. Rookie minicamp. They didn't even have pads on. There was no contact. How in the hell do you get a concussion in rookie minicamp with no pads on? That's concussion prone, bro. That's Tui Talopa shit, right? That to me. So, you know, I don't think Pete Carroll wants to just come out and say JPJ has problems with concussion issues, and we don't know how many more concussions he can sustain and still play in the NFL, right? Because if he does have concussion issues, they're going to have doctors evaluate him if they try to trade him, but you can't keep him on the team and you can't keep him as a backup. Raider Nation is going to lose their mind if this dude is not starting and he's a healthy scratch. Oh my God, bro. Come on. So, yeah, man, I really believe it's something with those concussions. Like I said, Pete Carroll loves these players, right? He loves these players like his own son. He's not going to risk this dude's health because some content creator with 200,000 followers thinks he knows this team better than he does, or knows football better than he does, or knows how to coach better than he does. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. No matter how much any of us want JPJ to be the center, it's not going to happen. And me personally, I'm good with him at the right guard. Now, if he doesn't win the right guard spot, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to be upset because we know he's better than Alex Kappa. But as far as the center position goes, bro, I believe in Jordan Meredith. I believe in Jordan Meredith. I believe in this team. And I believe in the coaching the process. So Joe Philbon should be the offensive line coach. Brendan Carroll should be holding tackling dummies as an assistant. That's a little harsh for week 3, though, right? That's a little harsh for week 3. Arnie Garza, do me a big favor. Please go back and watch my video from yesterday. Please go back and watch the video from yesterday. I don't even know what it's called. But please go back and watch it. It's called What's on Film, I do believe. Go back and watch the video and then tell me that. Because this offensive line played solid. We had three offensive linemen in pass blocking grades of 75 or higher. The Raiders haven't had 3 offensive linemen with pass blocking grades of 73 or higher in the last 10 years. 10 years, bro. 10 years. And you think this dude needs to be replaced? I think he's doing a damn good job. I think the O-line has a lot to learn, right? We've heard everybody say, well, not everybody. We heard Hondo Carpenter say when I don't even know whose name I'm talking about. When Chip Kelly playbook is like this thick, right? He has like three to 9 plays for every formation. That's a lot for an offensive line, right? That's a lot to remember who you're blocking. And nobody seems to go back and watch the film from yesterday. Nobody is noticing the fact that they were in motion every single play. They would bring 8, 7, 8, 9 guys to the line of scrimmage, and then they'd back off 3 or 4. Or they'd have 5 guys at the line of scrimmage and, 3 linebackers behind them. And as soon as the ball was snapped, they'd send everybody. Or they'd drop 1 linebacker and, kind of like a cover 2 shit because they played a lot of 2 high safeties. So it's all about matchups and schemes, and they had a better scheme than us. They have a better team than us. They were in the NFC Championship. So it's not like we played the Washington Commanders of 3 years ago, right? This team is a playoff team, man. It's a playoff team, and we had every chance and every opportunity to win that game. We just couldn't do it. It's just his concussions. They don't want to put him at center. I don't know. If JPJ demands to play at center, he will be traded. I think that's what happened. I think he went in there and, went into Pete Carroll's office and said, look, I want to play center. I believe that's my position. I think that could be it. I mean, Raiders Furpo in the building. So, Geomex, I believe that's it, man. I'm just speculating here. I don't know anything. There's no little birdie. The little birdie that I talked to has no information. He said, I don't know. But from what he says is he thinks I'm right. He said, bro, I feel you. There's something there. And, for Nick Walters, who doesn't have anything to do with this team, right? He's a reporter for Las Vegas News. He's a news reporter for NBC or CBS or whatever the hell network he works for. So he has nothing to do with this. And for him to put that out there, of Coach going up and dabbing up Alex Kappa, patting him on the shoulder, and then walking over to JPJ, standing 5 feet away, and saying something to him, and then walking off. There's something to that, man. There's something to that. Something to it. What do we got? Our first draft picks should be O-line. I think that would be a huge setback. That would be a huge setback. DJ Glaze is struggling. But I believe if you put DJ Glaze with JPJ, I think that's the toughest unit right there. And if you want our run game to be better, remember RaidersRebel said, because I don't get credit for any of the shit I say. People take it to other channels and use that shit. Nobody give me credit for my shit, but it's fine. I'm not butthurt. But just remember, I said this. DJ Glaze with JPJ on the right side is going to be our strongest run blocking offensive line duo. They're going to be nasty together. Those two, as rookies, were roommates all through California camp when AP was the coach. They're very close friends. They know each other's tendencies. They played next to each other a little bit last year. They practiced a lot with each other. So the fact that JPJ and DJ Glaze are already tight, I think it's a brilliant move by Brendan Carroll, by Joe Philbon, by Chip Kelly, or whoever decided to move JPJ over. And if I'm wrong, so what? I'm wrong. But I feel like this is a great move. I really, really do. I really feel like this can end up being an offensive line that people are going to fear. If you look at JPJ next to DJ Glaze, right? DJ Glaze struggles with speed. I pointed it out on my game review yesterday. Go watch the game film. Go watch the breakdown. I don't do this shit for nothing. I don't get monetized for those videos. So please go watch it. Go watch it. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But on those videos, DJ Glaze by fast defensive ends, when they put, say your offensive line's here, right? Normally a defensive line is lined up with your guard. They're out here, bro. They're out here. Why? Because they're fast and they know they have the angle. So they can use their speed to get to DJ Glaze with already 3 or 4 steps. They're using their speed and their power to knock him off balance. If you have JPJ, who is physical, who is pretty fast for his size, who is mobile, who can get around, if you have him next to DJ Glaze, you can zone block on those guys that are fast, right? You can leave Jordan Meredith to block the guard, or to block who, it's a 4-man front. So you leave Jordan Meredith to block the nose, the 2-tech, the 3-tech, the 4-tech, whatever it is. And then you got one-on-one, which it should be one-on-one with Colton Miller. I hear a lot of talk about Dylan Parham is our worst guard. Go watch game film. Please do not come on here and talk crazy without watching game film and knowing game film. Because if you don't know how to watch game film and you're just going by what everybody else says, I don't need the sheep in the chat, bro. I don't. So have your own opinion if you're going to come in and say people are trash. Because Parham did give up a lot of, gave up some pressures. He gave up some quarterback hurries, right? He gave up a sack. But he was in one-on-one more than any offensive lineman besides Colton Miller. Him and Colton Miller had more one-on-one reps than everybody, right? So Jordan Meredith, Alex Kappa were constantly duo and, tag team blocking, zone blocking. And Kappa and DJ Glaze were constantly zone blocking. So you can't trust Alex Kappa to be left alone, obviously, or Meredith. But there was a lot of plays where Jordan Meredith was also left alone, one-on-one isolated. Those guys handled their business. So, Jordan Meredith, when you're left one-on-one in a bull rush, man, come on. He did a pretty good job. Dylan Parham did a solid job for the different looks, for the constant movement, right? They're lining guys up, bringing 9 guys. You have to figure out, as an offensive lineman, before that ball is snapped, Am I going with this guy? Is this guy my guy? And then when you figure out, okay, I'm blocking this guy, then they switch and they move, or they drop somebody else, or they bring somebody else in. Man, I don't care if you're the best offensive line in football, you're gonna struggle with that. So my phone is gonna die. I love y'all. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody's shit. Raiders Unleashed. Do you like college football? I love college football. Rebel. The line will be poor with Meredith at center. Both guards, Parham and Kappa, are trash, getting pushed around on every play, bro. I mean, I like Meredith at guard too. I like him at guard too, but obviously they're worried about JPJ. Maybe they have a plan, right? Maybe they feel with a little bit of development that maybe they can, maybe they can pull up Will Putnam and put Will Putnam at center, who's another guy that's 6'4", 6'5", 300 pound plus. So I agree, bro. I'm not saying I agree completely with it, right? If he can't, that's like I said, if he can't play the center position, if he continues to struggle, but I feel once they start to gel and once they, if JPJ could stay healthy, this offensive line is going to be okay. Glaze gets bullied a lot too. I don't know. I think on a tight, he's dropped off a little bit, bro. He's dropped off. Bro, we win in 6 games this year. Damn, don't do that to me. But I keep receipts, though. I keep receipts. So let's just say it. Raider Knight says 6. I'll keep that in my memory. Raider Knight says only 6 wins. That was a wild double down by Pete, but Meredith is not a good center. Alex M in the building, what it do? Frank Weber, what it do? Crappa, Alex Crappa, it was good. Damn, I'm never gonna get to all these chats before my Raider Paul, what's good? Good to see you, man. Raiders. Rebel question: what week would you panic if the O-line can't protect the quarterback? No holes for Genty. I told you, man, after the bye, in week 9, and when week 9 comes and we still say the same thing, I will come on here and tell everybody I was wrong. I'm trash. I know nothing about football. All my takes are garbage, dude. I got you. I ain't fucking below that shit or above it. Promise. I promise. Give them till the bye, man. Give them till the bye. If the same things are happening, then there's an issue, right? There's an issue. We're going to get a high draft pick, which I'm not mad at that too. If you watch my channel, you said, I said, I would only be happy with 2 ways this year. Is if we win 10 games or more and definitely make the playoffs, or if we lose, if we only win 5 games. I don't want to be in the middle. I want a good draft pick, or I want to be in the playoffs. And that's a lot to ask for. So, I probably won't get either one. But we'll see, man. We'll see. I appreciate everybody rocking with your boy. I appreciate y'all always showing love. Old Von Miller, he used to mute DJ Glaze. Man, Von Miller with that stiff arm was nasty, bro. But he's a Hall of Famer, right? And that's another thing. Thanks for pointing that out, Arnie Garza. That's another thing. They have 3 Hall of Famers on that defense, bro. 3 Hall of Famers. 3 Hall of Famers. Guaranteed gold jackets, right? Von Miller, Bobby Wagner, and oh my God, what the hell is his name? The fuck. Anyways, I'll think of it in a minute, but y'all know what I mean. Parham, Kappa, Forsyth, Ben Cheeks. Forsyth's only played in 1 game, right? A couple snaps, and he was absolutely ass. They pulled him right out. I'm surprised they didn't cut him. But I'm telling y'all, if this old line doesn't get better in the run game, if y'all want to get better in the run game, this is my line. This is my line, right? I would literally, Colton Miller. I would put either JPJ or Alex Kappa at the left guard position, either one, I don't care. I would keep Meredith at center. I would put Dalton flipping Wagner, 6'8", 320 pounds, 330 pounds, that's not fast enough. He has the same problem DJ Glaze has with guys that are quick. But as a guard, you are not moving Dalton Wagner. He's going to move bodies out of the way. He's going to open up lanes. He has an extremely long reach. He's 6'8". And if the Raiders want to win because they can't pass or they want to open up the ground game, mark my words. If they just try it one time, just one time, Dalton Wagner and DJ Glaze next to each other on the right side, we have 100 yards every game from Ashton Genty. I promise you. They just murder it on the right side. You could run to that side every time. Defense seemed jet lagged. Yeah, man. The defense, the offense, everybody seemed jet lagged. You gotta, like I said, you gotta get there a couple days early. When you got East Coast games 2 and 3 weeks, man, you got to get there early. Now the first game that was fine, right? Because it's the first game of the season. Everybody's jacked up, right? Everybody's got adrenaline. Everybody's pumped, ready to hit somebody, ready to smack somebody in the mouth. But damn, then you go home and you lose to a Chargers team. So now you're disappointed. You got this bad taste in your mouth and this vision you can't get out of your head of, damn, if we only had a quarterback in that game that didn't throw 3 interceptions, we could have probably beat the Chargers. And then you got to fly all the way to the East Coast thinking about that. And then, shit, you're jet lagged. You get there, one day before you got to play. It's an early morning game, which is even earlier. You know what time it was when we played that game in Vegas? Bro, it's like 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. We ain't never played a game at 9 o'clock in the morning in Vegas. So you have all those issues. And also, why is everybody acting like the Washington Commanders didn't have 10 days? 10 fucking days to prepare for the Las Vegas